Hello everyone, what's up? Prince1215 here with another video review. Today I'm reviewing the Transformers G1 Reissue Starscream from the original 1984 Transformers line of toys. Sorta, kinda. But before we get to the figure, let's get to the box. So, here we have your classic Transformers G1 box. It says the Transformers more than meets the eye. He is an evil Decepticon. Here's Starscream on the front here, looking very retro. Converts from robot to plane and back. On the top, you can see there he is, transforming. And then, of course, here's there you can see the instructions there. That's the inside of the box. He is from Hasbro with their classic logo there. He is for ages 8 and up. Of course, that's just a suggestion. They have to put that on there. Transformers Decepticon Air Commander Starscream. So there's all of that. There's some stuff on the side. You've got some more shots of the toy. Some more shots of the toy. On the bottom, you got some more shots of the toy. And then on the back, we've got kind of our very classic Transformers background here with all the, original designs. He's got a little biography here in several different languages. And then he's got some tech specs. Advertises you to clip out things. So then this is something I really like. It's like this is something you would hear with the classic Vic Caroli narration. It is a world of constant change where things are not what they seem. It is the world of the Transformers, a world of heroic Autobots and evil Decepticons. And then the exact same thing in a different language. So that's pretty much it for the box. Very, very nice box. I don't think I'm going to be getting rid of this box like I do most of my boxes, just because it's that classic design. So, moving right along, here we have classic Starscream in his F-15 vehicle mode. And this is pretty dang cool. I mean, it's G1 Starscream. This is essentially, now I say essentially, there are some differences which I'll get to in a minute, but this is essentially how Starscream was in 1984 when you would go to whatever store, a Toys R Us or whatever that would sell toys. This is essentially how you'd find him, box and all. Now, of course, even the box has a couple differences, but this is a pretty faithful, as far as I've seen, a pretty faithful recreation of the original toy, and it's pretty dang cool. I have one large complaint and one minor complaint. The large complaint, and again, I sort of kind of waive the complaint because it is a classic, toy, is that there's stickers. There's stickers all over this thing. It's like the Decepticon stickers you have to put on yourself. That thing is a sticker. There's stickers here that go on the robot. There's the robot mode, which we'll get to in a few minutes. It's like, I hate stickers on toys. Why can't they just be printed? But in the case of this, I kind of give it a pass because that's how the toy originally was. It was probably cheap. It probably was cheaper to make these stickers and have kids put them on themselves instead of printing it. So I give Starscream here a pass just because that's how it was back in the day. Nowadays, I don't really give you a pass if you got stickers on your toys a lot of the time. If you've seen any of my LEGO reviews that have stickers, you know my opinion on stickers. I don't like stickers at all. But in this instance, I kind of give it a pass. So, yeah, so it's Starscream. That's pretty cool. So let's get into some size comparisons. Well, I say size comparisons as in plural, but we're only going to be looking at one today. So here we have Power of the Prime's Hot Rod. He's really the only other G1 type toy I have. So I kind of thought that I would bring in some of the newer Starscreams, but we all know what they look like. So I just figured I'd kind of stick with the G1 theme here. So here they are together. Starscream's a lot bigger than Hot Rod. Probably makes sense because he's a plane. But this helps you get kind of a feeling for the size. So he's a little bigger than a typical deluxe figure, I would feel, in his vehicle mode. Now so moving Hot Rod aside, that is a complaint I have about this toy. But again, I say complaint because, well, this is the original version. That's, it's some of the kinks that they worked out throughout the years that we don't really have problems with anymore, or at least we're not supposed to. I mean, look how fiddly that is. I mean, that wing just moves up and down whichever way you want it to. So, and you know, it doesn't really, you know, like a modern Transformer toy, it doesn't really tab in anywhere. Even it just comes right off. It just comes right off because actually, and we'll get to it in a minute, this is actually part of the official transformation. You just rip the wing off. So, I mean, it's very, very different from what we have today. So again, it's a complaint I have, but actually, I kind of like it because it's kind of this quaint little, oh, that's how they did it back in the day. That's really cool. So now this what I'm going to talk about now. This is an actual complaint I have with this toy. Is that, so as you can see, he's got his little launchers here. Now let's see here, where was it? I don't think it was on the back. Okay, here we go. So as you can see, here in the box, it shows that he's got little missiles that can go in there when he's in plane mode. The toy does include said missiles. Here's one of them right here. Let's just remove this. But there's a problem. If this is supposed to work properly, this is supposed to go all the way back. However, there's no hole on the back of these. So they can only go in so far. And so because of how long these things are, that's pretty much as far as you're going to get. And then it doesn't even, it can't even fire. So these things are pretty much worthless, and that's an actual complaint I have with this, because I don't think it's accurate to the original, and it stops the toy from working properly. So that's, I don't know if that's just a my copy thing, or if they're all, I assume that they're all like that, but that is an actual annoyance, that's an actual problem with this figure. That's not something you can chalk up to, oh, that's how it was. It's like, no, I think that's an actual problem. So that is unfortunate. But what you can do is you can just take his null rays, if you want to, you can just take his null rays and click them in there and stick them underneath. I mean, it looks a little funny. He's just got his great big null rays sticking out there, but hey, that's one of the ways you can store stuff. And actually, he's got quite a few accessories here that just kind of sit around, like here's his hands, but we'll get to that. Well, actually, you know what? Let's get to that right now. I've pretty much talked about his vehicle mode. Let's go ahead and... Actually, I will show off. See, it does work. It does fire. So, let's go ahead and get into his transformation. So, let's kind of position things a little bit here. All right. Now, this figure is interesting because, you know, he's classic G1 Starscream. This is how you would find him back in 1984. So because of that, the transformations that they had back then weren't as complex as today. And because they're not quite as complex, they're not really what you would call a transformer nowadays. Because, well, in the official instructions to transform them, we just rip these wings right off. And we do the same with the landing gear. So, there's his head. So, you just rip off the landing gear, and the landing gear doesn't really have a place to go. You just kind of move that off to the side. Now, you can pretty much transform him without removing anything but the landing gear, but just for the sake of following instructions, we'll do it as is. So, we'll flip the feet down. There's the feet. They've got some stickers on there. And then now we'll bring the nose cone down. Now this can be a tricky thing that the instructions don't exactly tell you very well. So you want to put your thumb here in this area here, and then the arms will just separate there. And then of course these can come off pretty easy. So you just want to bring these forward like that, kind of set them down so that way they're like that. And then we want to take the nose cone, it'll come off here. And then you want to get it about like that, and then it'll just go through. And then we can bring up the head, put that down. Oh, he does have an opening cockpit. I forgot to mention that in the vehicle mode. So it's hollow on the inside. There's not any detailing or seats or anything, so that's that. Then we bring these back, take the wings, remove the launchers from underneath, place them back on, position them how we wish, which, you know, want that to go like that. And then he's pretty much in robot mode, but now we've got some accessories to give him. So here's his launchers. We just attach this to his arms like so. And now we can take his hands, and then they just go on like that, and like that. And finally, we'll take these here, just form the null rays. And then there we have G1 Starscream. So we've got Starscream transformed here, and he looks kind of derpy, actually, but it's a G1 toy, so they didn't exactly look the best. I mean, when you think of G1 Starscream, you know, like his appearances in the cartoon, which will be showing up here, there's obviously some differences. Because, for instance, he actually had elbows in the show. And then, of course, you know, probably the biggest thing that is obvious is that the wings are much lower on the toy than they are in the show. And so that's kind of a difference. So, but it's cool. I really like having this figure just because for the novelty of it. It's like, oh, this is a G1 toy. It was released in 2018, but this is how he was back in 1984. So let's get in and get a look at his head sculpt. The thing I really like about this is that he does have, you know, the classic Starscream kind of grooves helmet thing is that they're made up by, those are made up by the cone of the jet. So you can make him a cone head if you want, but that looks a little silly because Starscream's not a cone head. So there you go. So again, getting into one of my complaints, in air quotes, is that he does have stickers. You know, that's a sticker. These stickers are actually really annoying because it wasn't really, I didn't really think it was clear on the instructions where they were supposed to go. So, but you know, they go like that on there, and of course, because they're stickers, I wasn't able to get them on properly, and they just look weird. So, again, I don't like stickers. So, but he does look nice. I do really like the look of him. I mean, come on, it's G1 Starscream. That's pretty cool. So, one thing that I think is really cool about this toy is that there's just a giant thing of metal that is just metal. I mean, you can't really hear it, but this whole big red section here, that's just a big chunk of metal, and I really like that. It's like it really helps make this toy feel old, even though it's technically brand spanking new. It's like they don't make toys like that anymore. They don't just make toys with giant hunks of metal in them. It's like, that's just really cool. Of course, the rest of him is plastic, of course, but I think the wheels might even. Okay, the wheels are metal. Like, here's the landing gear. The wheels are made out of metal, but the rest of it is plastic. But they just don't make toys like that anymore, where there's just a giant hunk of metal for the body. So that's really cool. So I usually don't go over articulation in my videos, just because during the transformation sequence I usually end up showing off the articulation, just because I'm trying to get them transformed. So you kind of get a sense of what that's like. But on Starscream, since he's a G1 toy, I'm going to go over articulation. Boom. That was his articulation. That's all he's got. The head doesn't turn, the legs don't move, there's no knee joints, you just got the things at the shoulder there. And that's it. That's all you've got. The legs don't even move. They're just static right, like that. I mean, you can kind of get them to do that, but that's just because they're connected via the wing attached things there. So you can see that they move a little bit, but they don't move forward, they don't move back. That's it. This is a toy from 1984. So that is Starscream, pretty much. So we'll bring in Hot Rod again to do a size comparison for robot mode. And as you can see, he is actually much smaller than a deluxe figure from nowadays, at least as far as Power of the Primes is concerned. Which for a non-Studio Series movie figure, I think that's a pretty much average height. So as you can see, he's a lot shorter than your typical toy from nowadays, but 1984, 2017. So a lot of years of difference in between there. So that's pretty cool. I really like this figure just because of the novelty of it. But we're not quite done with him yet, because he does include one accessory that didn't come with the original toy. And that here is G1 Megatron in his gun mode. So Megatron here looks very, very nice. He's got the little Decepticon symbol on there. And so it's actually, this is G1 Starscream, but you're getting two characters here, because this is still Megatron. He's in his gun mode, but you still have Megatron here, so that's really cool. So, of course, Starscream can hold his leader. So you just put out whichever arm. I always just go with the right, because that's what people usually shoot with. And then you transform Megatron. Put that there. That goes in there. And then, there we go. Starscream can blast Autobots all the livelong day. Pew! Bang! Oh no, there goes Hot Rod's head. Starscream shot it straight off, because he's a headmaster. So we'll just move that off to the side. So yeah, that's pretty much Starscream. And then when he's in his robot mode, you've got some pieces left over. Just the landing gear that kind of sits off to the side. You've got these missiles that are worthless, but they're worthless no matter what mode he's in. But we went over that. So yeah, that's pretty much Starscream. I really like this toy. Based on modern standards, I don't think he's a really good toy, because, it's like, there's no articulation, he's a big chunk of metal, and it's like, blah, blah, blah. But, I mean, he's not a modern toy. He's a toy from 1984. He's one of the toys that started this whole craze. The reason we have Transformers today in 2019 is because of this guy. So, I love having this toy, and it's really just all of my willpower not to collect any G1 reissue that comes out just for the novelty of it. Like, I want reissue Bumblebee, I want reissue Optimus Prime, I want the reissue Soundwave that was just announced. A reissue Shockwave would be cool. I don't really care for getting the reissue Hot Rod, although it would be kind of cool to have, just because, well, I've got the current version, and it'd be cool to have the old version too, but I'll pass on that. The reissue Devastator would be cool to have. It's so cool that these things are coming out, and I want them all, but I think I'm gonna be able to hold myself off with just Starscream. It's like, I've got Starscream, arguably one of my favorite Transformers. I have an original G1 toy-ish, because it's a reissue. It came out in 2018 and not 1984, but it's like it would have. You get the idea of what a reissue is. I don't have to explain it. So I think I'll be perfectly happy with just having Starscream here. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. I really recommend him. If you want this figure, he is a Walmart exclusive. I'm not sure about other countries, but here in the United States, he is a Walmart exclusive. So if you want old Screamer here, you're going to have to go to Walmart and pray that they have them in stock. I usually find a good deal of G1 reissues at Walmart's whenever I go anywhere in my area, so he shouldn't be too hard to find. But hey, you never know. Stock by locations may vary. We all know that. So yeah, that'll pretty much be it for this review. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Remember to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Those links are in the description below. And I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.